came out of the darkness, something changed. I'm not exactly sure what that was, but something changed. And I got back to my phone after 5 days off of it, because your phone's not on the entire time. There's no Wi-Fi on that, hippie mountain. And when I got back to that little shack they have where there's one bar of Wi-Fi, and got back to hundreds of text messages and emails and all different things, I realized that there'd been a little bit of a shift. And that I heard from multiple people that I trust around the league, players mostly, that there was some shopping going on, that they were interested in actually moving me. And at this point, I got to admit, I went in the darkness, 90% retiring, 10% playing. That's where my mind was. My mind was, I'm tired of this. I hadn't got back into my workouts yet, and I thought that was what was best for me. So I went in the darkness to contemplate a lot of different things. But one day I spent entirely on the reality I was retired, and one day I spent entirely on the reality that I was coming back and playing. And just really sat with that for hours and hours, what that looked like, what the reality is, how that all felt. And when I came out, I was really interested in what the kind of landscape was, where Green Bay was at. And obviously, if I wanted to play, what were the options? So it was clear to me at that point that although the Packers were going to say the right thing publicly, that they were ready to move on. And again, I don't know what changed that or what moved that. If they just said, hey, we need to make a decision here because he hasn't made a decision yet. Again, there's no victims here. I'm not sitting here as a victim. I love Green Bay. I love the fan base. They're incredible. I live for playing for them and for Lambeau.
Hell yeah.
A lot of love for the organization. I just think I wish that in the beginning of the offseason, that had been the conversation. Because I love direct communication. If they had just said, listen, we think it's time to move in a different direction. And we love you. And you're going to be a Packer Hall of Famer. You're going to go in the Hall as a Packer. We're going to retire your number, whatever it might be. But it's time to move on. I would have said, man, thank you so much just for telling me that. Like, I really, really appreciate that. That means the world to me that you would tell me that. Because I really believe that's the sentiment, and that's fine. It really is. It's totally fine. This is an incredible profession, but it's a tough business for sure.
You've said that for a long time, Aaron. You've said that for a long time.
Some of these issues were things I was talking about 2 years ago. It was how do we treat older players on the way out? And it's ironic that now I'm that player, but I think that's the beauty in life is the the sense of humor that the universe has. But so I'm no malice, no bitterness towards the Packers. It's been bittersweet for sure the last 10 days. So I've shifted my focus to entertaining, what the plane would look like, and had the Packers granted obviously permission for the Jets to come out and visit. We had a nice visit. They decided to leave their cars in the street, which attracted paparazzi attention, which got a few of them photographed, which I thought was pretty funny. But
made a couple of mistakes early.
But we had a nice conversation, and I told them, listen, I'm not ready to make a decision about anything. I want to get back into my workouts and see how it feels. To really hit it hard for a week. I've obviously been working out before that, but to really hit it hard for a week and to see if the drive and the passion is still there, and then I'll see where we're at. And so again, this is why this is not a decision here. The decision I think was made in my mind whether or not I was able to admit at that point. Really on that Tuesday, I wanted to play, and then it was how is my body feeling? Is it going to be able to hold up? So at this point, as I sit here, I think since Friday, I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Okay.
And I haven't been holding anything up at this point. It's been compensation that the Packers are trying to get for me and kind of digging their heels in. So I would just I think it is interesting at this point to step back and look at the whole picture. My side, love and appreciation, gratitude for everything that Green Bay has done for me. So much love and gratitude and just heart open for the Packer fans.
Hell yeah.
And what it's meant to be their quarterback. And also the reality of the situation, like it is what it is. The Packers would like to move on. They've let me know that in so many words. They've let other people know that in direct words. And because I still have that fire and I want to play and I would like to play in New York, it's just a matter of, getting that done at this point.
Okay, people in New York are doing this right now. Yeah. People in New York are pumped right now, and I appreciate you laying it all out there. I appreciate you detailing your side of it, why you feel the way you feel. Now, obviously, there's like 400,000 plus people watching. Not everybody will get to hear that. I hope everybody gets a chance to hear why you are in the position that you're in, and also why you chose to come on here today, because there's a lot of drama allegedly being built by you, dragging this out. Is this guy doing this? Because the last we had heard, and although you made your decision on Friday, the last we had heard is you were contemplating still wanting to play, or do you want to play for the Jets, or do you want to play for another team? So you giving your side of it, I think, lets a lot of people that are maybe hating know, like, yo, let's understand that there's a whole nother layer to this, which is how all the insiders have been talking about it. That layer, are you involved in that process at all with what the compensation is? Are you completely hands off of that and you're just along for the ride with everybody else? Or how active have you been in the whole process here, Aaron?
Pretty hands off of that, honestly. I've just been focused on working out and, taking care of my business out here. I obviously have an agent and the GMs have been talking, I'm sure, about that. At this point, like I said, it's my intention to play for the Jets, but I'm still under contract with the Packers. So.
Yeah, they got no leverage either. I don't know how many people are watching. They're trying to compare this to the Matthew Stafford situation. Matthew Stafford, a part of the trade and what they gave up was because they were taking on Jared Goff's contract that was massive. Your contract would be leaving the team, so take that out of the leverage pool. And also, they've pretty much put them in a position contractually with Jordan Love because they have to decide whether or not they're going to pick up the fifth year. They made this decision by drafting Jordan Love that everybody else knows that they're going to another quarterback anyways, and they don't want it on the book. So it's a vastly different leverage situation. I think we all just assumed that would have got done. I think that's why we were all thinking that it was you. Has this surprised you a little bit as well, or no?
Not really, honestly.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Well, listen, I think, my plea is, and I would say this is debatable, but I'm debatably the best player in franchise history. I'm in the conversation for sure.
That was awesome.
What's not debatable is I'm the longest tenured Packer in history. Like, you can debate the first part, obviously. Bart, Brett, a number of names have been incredible.
Whoa.
But you can't debate anybody who's been there longer than I have. And nobody has bled green and gold like me. I love that city. I love those fans. I love that region. And I've never been a free agent. I've never even got there. Yeah, the team has done it, but I've never said, let me test free agency here. Like, because I want to, I kind of want to get out of here. Like this weather, or whatever it might be. Just I need a new. Never. It was never that. Never that. I loved Green Bay. I do love Green Bay. I love the people. I love going to Chives and seeing my buddy Logan. I love India by Vaughn now. Incredible Indian spot in town.
Hell yeah. That's good.
I love my boy Rob at Frame Makers. I love so many people in that town. So many people that work at the organization. And I love our fans, man. We got a great fan base. It was never about that. Now it's about the reality situation, and I think there's probably people who are really wanting to move on, and I get it. I'm not upset about it. I have nothing but love in my heart for every Packer fan and everybody that works in the organization. My life is better because of my time in Green Bay. But we just got to look at the reality. They want to move on. They don't want me to come back, and that's fine. They're ready to move on with Jordan. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think Jordan's going to be a great player. He's a fucking great kid. He had a really good year this year, getting better, on the look team. He's got a bright future in front of him. They got a good young team. I got so many great friends on that team that I'm still going to be great friends with. But the fact of the matter is, like, you got a aging face of the franchise for the last 15 years that it's time to do right by. And let's just listen to your language. Mark Murphy said it the other day, right?
Had a great career. Yeah. If the only way Aaron would be the quarterback is if what we want to happen obviously doesn't happen. So that's what he actually said publicly, which I think you said if he would have told you that before you were going into this process, you wouldn't have been so offended by it all. I think when you laid it all.
Honestly, I wasn't offended by it at all. I'm not offended.
No. But like the miscommunication wise, he didn't tell you that was the case. They told you take your time, and then when you came out of the darkness, it was like a different message. And you said this has kind of been an issue with Green Bay alum for a long time. It's like how you handle the whole next.
Well, just look at the track. Look at the track record from the guy sitting over there to
all-time leading tackler.
What happened with Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb and Julius Peppers, Clay Matthews, Brett Good, on and on and on. There's just a way of doing things that you don't want to bring it back. That's fine. It's a business, but there's a way of doing it that allows the man to keep the dignity. And honestly, that's some of the stuff I was fighting for a couple of years ago. Like, how can we do this a little bit better? If we want to be about family and want to be about love and taking care of our people, like let's put our actions where our words at. Because it's really important to me. That part is important. And now I'm the person, and look, I'm not offended by any of this. I'm not a victim by any of this. I don't have that mentality. I have nothing but love and appreciation. It's been bittersweet. Like, coming to this reality has been really bittersweet because I was drafted by Green Bay. I fucking love that city, love that organization, and always going to have love for that organization. But the facts are right now, they want to move on.
Oh my God, it's right there. You see it.
And now so do I.
Hey, do you see it? AJ, do you see what's like?
Chips, stacking up the chips. That's right. Stacking the chips on your shoulder. We know that. Hey, quick, let's say you came out of the darkness retreat, as you said, what, 5 days, 4 nights, I believe, long time in there, very long time. Say you check your phone in Green Bay, you get your first text was, hey man, we love you. Come on back. We need this. Would you have been gung-ho going back to Green Bay?
I mean, that's a good question. Not really. I just felt like I knew that wasn't going to happen, number one. But number two,
why though? If you said when you left the end of the season, though.
Let me get to it. Because
let him answer a question, AJ. Jeez, ask him a question, let him answer. Thank you, Aaron. Sorry about it. Jeez.
That just wasn't the sentiment that I felt throughout the season. Especially even towards the end of the season, it felt like everybody was ready to move on. And, I was interested by what the conversation would be in the week after the season, but it was pretty obvious they weren't staying on the table. They weren't doing the opposite, though. It was kind of in the middle where whatever you want to do, we'll kind of do. And obviously that changed, and they felt like they had to take a hard line, which look, nobody wants to be the bad guy in a situation. And honestly, there isn't, at this point, a bad guy in the situation. As long as everything gets resolved the right way, they want to move on. And now I want to play. And so that would obviously be me moving on as well.
So you know how I was saying chips on the shoulder there. I don't know if you took that as a compliment or if you agree with that or not. But Michael Jordan, right at that Utah restaurant we saw in The Last Dance, that's all I need that motherfucker to say. And the guy was like, hey, good luck tomorrow, Michael Jordan. Like, you're the greatest player of all time. And he's like, yeah. The way he said it, though.